Come away, O human child.
Come away, O human child.
To the waters and the wild.
To the waters and the wild.
With a fairy hand in hand.
With a fairy hand in hand.
She's getting really into this. She's like, oh, all right. For the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. So that's the fairies telling this poor child to come away with them. And they're telling him that the world's full of weeping, that the world is a really sad place. You don't want to live in this world anymore. You want to come to the land of the fairies.
No, I don't.
Yeah, well, you probably don't want to, because it'll be 100 years and everyone will be gone. No, you don't want to be going there. Okay, I'm going to read this. And you're going to help me with this bit. And you might know some of the places in this poem. Where dips the rocky highland of Slewwood by the lake. Does anyone know Slewwood? No. It's not too far from here, and there's kind of rocks that lead down overlooking the lake. There lies a leafy island where flapping herons wake. They wake the drowsy water rats. There we hid our fairy vats, full of berries and the reddest stolen cherries. Oh yes.
What are you going to do?
Come away, O human child. Come on. To the waters and the wild.
To the waters and the wild.
With a fairy hand in hand.
With a fairy hand in hand.
For the world's more full of weeping
For the world's more full of weeping.
than you can understand.
Then you can understand.
Where the wave of moonlight glosses the dim grey sands. You can read it. Where the wave of moonlight glosses the dim grey sands with light. Far off by furthest rosses, we footed all the night. So the fairies ran off along the beach. And they were weaving olden dances, mingling hands and mingling glances. Remember I said that they dance a lot? Yeah. So the fairies were dancing off down the beach. And to and fro we leap and chase the frothy bubbles. Oh yes, and the world is full of troubles and anxious in its sleep. Come away, O human child.
Come away, O human child.
Actually, try that with your hands out like you're reaching towards them. Come away, O human child. To the waters and the wild.
To the waters and the wild.
With a fairy hand in hand.
With a fairy hand in hand.
For the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. Where the wandering water gushes from the hills above Glencar. Does anyone know where Glencar is?
Yeah.
Have you been to Glencar? There's a lovely waterfall here, so that's what he's talking about. He's saying that this waterfall. Do you know the waterfall at Glencar? Have you heard of it? Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, that's where he's talking about here. In the pool among the rushes that scarce could bathe a star, we seek for slumbering trout. So the fairies are looking for the fish in the water. And you know what they're going to do? And whispering in their ears, we give them unquiet dreams. Oh, they're being tricky. They're whispering into the ears of the fish and giving them kind of dreams that they, oh, I don't like that dream. Oh, God, oh. And leaning softly out from the ferns that drop their tears over the young streams. Once again, everyone with me. Come away, O human child.
Come away, O human child.
I scared him. To the waters and the wild.
To the waters and the wild.
With a fairy hand in hand.
With a fairy hand in hand.
For the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. Away with us he's going. So this is the fairy saying it now. Away with us he's going, the solemn-eyed. Oh yes, he'll hear no more the lowing of the calves on the warm hillside, or the kettle on the hob sing peace into his breast, or see the brown mice bob round and round the oatmeal chest. One last time. Come away, O human child. All right, it's a little bit different on this bit, actually. So this is where they go, for he comes the human child.
For he comes the human child.
To the waters and the wild.
To the waters and the wild.
with a fairy hand in hand. For the world's more full of weeping than he can understand. Very good. Very good. Búlabus to all of ye.